Hi guys, it's Michaela and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my makeup monthly. It's been a little bit of a big month here with makeup, both with purchases and empties. I am excited that I used up quite a few things this month. Two of those things, however, are in my project pan, so you are gonna have to wait to find out what those are. So stay tuned for that video, but let's just start with what I purchased, what I emptied, and I don't have any really big hacks this month, unfortunately, so maybe we'll get one of those next month. I don't know, I kind of share my hacks as I tend to do my videos and within all the makeup content itself, but let's just get into it. Starting in with what I bought this month, let's go ahead and start with the Benefit Porefessional Super Setter. This was part of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and I kind of picked it up last minute. I wasn't really planning on it, but then I heard a lot of good things about it, and I have to agree. This is amazing. It definitely blurs my makeup, makes everything look like it's a part of the skin. It doesn't cake up too much, and for me with dry skin, sprays, powders, really anything tends to, you got to be careful with it because it does tend to make me look a little bit cakey, and it just seems to make everything blur together. So this was definitely a win. And then I picked up the Dior Air Flash Spray Foundation, and I have the shade 2N. I thought this was going to seem a lot more fuller coverage than it was, but instead it's actually, it looks a lot like skin. And at first when I was trying it out, I was kind of like, okay, this really isn't doing anything for me. But then I look at my face and I'm like, well, I don't see any red patches. I don't see anything poking, peeping through. I don't see the imperfections. What it does is I feel like, and of course a lot of it has to do with the shade, but also the formula of this, I feel like it blends into the skin so much that it looks like you're wearing nothing, which if you're looking for a foundation, ideally this is it. Now this is pricier. I do not remember the price point off the top of my head, but it is a luxury. Dior is a luxury brand, so you are going to get luxury prices with this, but this I would feel like is definitely worth the price tag. My only beef that I have with this is that it's hard to learn how to put on because it is an aerosol can. I did try it out a few different ways. The best way I would think to put it on is by spraying your beauty blender or your sponge. I wouldn't recommend using a brush, but I would say probably more of a beauty blender, spraying it on and then dotting it all over your face and blending it in that way. The blend is flawless, and I did have to go over my face a couple of times because I didn't think it was doing anything until I saw the results. So really, I would say put on the same amount as you would any other foundation. For me, that's usually about a full pump, sometimes half a pump. But for this, probably just one or two good sprays. I did try the method of just spraying it directly onto my face, which could work. I feel like it does work. Only if you don't do your eyeshadow first. If you are going to use that method, which of course does work, I make sure you're doing your eyeshadow afterwards, because I like to do my eyeshadow first because I like to blend up whatever mess I made with the eyeshadow and kind of shape up my eyeshadow using my foundation. I prefer to spray it on a beauty blender and then spray it on my face. But I would say this is definitely a hit. Probably not beginner friendly. It does take a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to use this. But if you are looking for a good flawless investment foundation, this would be it. And let's move on to my little stack. Let's go ahead and go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Wild Side. I am wearing it on my eyes today and I love it. At first when I swatched this shade, Ulta, they were doing like their 3 times the points makeup obsessions thing, so I just picked one of these up this month. And upon swatching it, the color didn't seem super like exciting. Like, it's got some gold with some pink reflex. It's rose gold. It's my favorite color. But when I wear it on the eyes, it is flawless. It is beautiful. It is amazing. My only issue with just this formula, and not even it's not the formula is flawless, but trying to figure out how to sharpen these tends to get a little bit tricky. So if you do know a way to sharpen these that doesn't feel like you're sharpening like the part of the pencil that makes you feel like you're stabbing yourself in the eye, please let me know. Again, it's not the eyeliner itself, it's like the piece that's being sharpened that tends to be the problem, and I've been using this formula for a while now and I still don't know how to sharpen it. Another item that I picked up is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic blush, and this is in the shade the Climax, the Swish and Pop. I've heard a lot about this, so I finally picked it up when I was in Sephora one day, and I love it. The shade is a little bit deep for me, but personally I like my blushes a little bit deeper. I just like the contrast it makes with the skin. I love how it works. Just, I don't know, just something about a deeper blush. Even though I'm so fair, you'd figure that me needing a lighter blush would be better, but it works fine for me. I wouldn't go much deeper, but I love how the two colors complement each other, but they don't mesh together. They blend seamlessly. They complement each other. Like you have the swish for the cheekbones and the pop for your for the apples of your cheeks. Again, I'm sure that if you watch any kind of beauty channel, this is probably all over it, and I have to agree with everybody's positive opinions. Let's go in with the last item I did end up picking from the Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty sale, and this is the Nabla Cutie palette in the shade Midnight. And all I have to say is I'm just wondering why I didn't try this formula sooner. I've debated trying it multiple times in the 21 Days of Beauty, and I just haven't picked it up, and I was really attracted to this blues. I really don't have anything like this in my collection, and yeah, this formula, especially like this shade here, can be a little bit difficult to work with on the eyes, but it blends out perfectly. Every shadow in here blends out perfectly. This shadow looks flawless on the eyes. I did a look one day where I believe it was this one, and this one just kind of all over the eye with nothing else, and I loved it. I wore it in a couple videos back, I believe. Actually, I think it was a video that went up before this one, the makeup inventory update, so I will leave that link down below in case you missed it. But I absolutely love the shadows. I love how easily they blend. I love how wearable they are. I love how they added the pop of gold here. So that way this is not an all pop of blue palette, but you do have that one neutral color, and I feel like as odd as the blues kind of are together, I feel like they all complement each other really, really well, and this makes me want to try more from this formula. This is the first thing I've bought from that brand. And another new eyeshadow palette that I bought from the Sephora VIB sale is the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Rose. It's the Divine Rose, the Luxe Quad in Eternal Eden, and again, I love it. I am wearing it on my eyes today. This is my first time trying Pat McGrath. I expected it to be a little more smooth and creamy, but from what I've heard, the US formula is it's not by any means bad. I mean, I definitely want to try more from Pat McGrath, but I think it's their Italian formula that is like amazing, and I think the US formula is like a notch down from that, which I don't really understand that. Like, why not just let your formula be a formula? Again, this is just coming out from things I've heard other YouTubers say, I've heard going around, so but based on that knowledge, I would just kind of be like, why not just go with the formula you know works, especially if the price point's going to be the same across the board. But that being said, these colors are pretty. I feel like you can easily get like a one and done eyeshadow with any of these. Today I am wearing Earthly Delight all over the eyes with Forbidden Fruit in the crease, but you could totally do a one and done. Like if I want a quick pink look that I can just put on my eyes, get out the door, I can blend these out with a brush. I don't have to use my finger on the shimmers, which to me, if I can do that, then it's definitely worth the price tag. As expensive as it is, I like an eyeshadow that I can just pop on the lid and not have to use a lot of effort, and it looks flawless, and that's what this is. So that is everything I got for my purchases. I don't have anything that I dislike this month, which is really, really good. I am super happy with that. Let's go ahead and move into my empties. Again, I have 3 this month that I used up and 2 in my project pan, so you are gonna have to wait for that video to see. Well, let's start with the one makeup item I used up is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is in the mini version. I have used the full size. I have used the full size multiple times. This is something that does stay in my collection. I absolutely love it. Sometimes I did get different versions of it, but the formula is the same. It's the scent that seems different to me. So I like this, and I will continue to put it in my collection. Now this I got in a sample a while ago. It's the Kiehs Midnight Recovery Concentrate. I love it. I like how it just kind of, it's soothing at the end of the day. It's great. This is just a sample size. This is the second one of these that I have gone through. Again, I love it. I enjoy it. I would purchase the big one if I can find it on sale. And then finally, my Clarins. This is the Recharge, the nighttime version. I do have the daytime version as well. This is gone. At first, I did not like this formula at all. However, as I have used it, it has become something that I would repurchase easy. I definitely love it. I will wait till I go through some of my other nighttime moisturizers first, but I love it and I would totally repurchase it. The only thing I have to say with it is when I use like some kind of like harsh makeup remover or exfoliant underneath it, this did definitely sting a little bit more, but as soon as I stopped using those, it was the First Aid Beauty facial wipes, but as soon as I stopped using those in conjunction with this, my skin felt a lot better. It didn't hurt as much, it didn't sting as much. So be careful with what you put underneath this. It could very well just be also what I did use, but in my experience, I probably wouldn't go back to using anything harsh underneath this. But if you're just using like something basic before this, something that's not too harsh on the skin, you should be just fine. Otherwise, I'm going to stay away from it. You may have a different experience. If so, let me know. And that is everything for this month. Sometimes I try to keep the packaging of the stuff I emptied out just to reuse them for other things. Nothing here that I can see myself reusing. I mean, I could reuse this one here, but it's a little bit dirty, and if it weren't so dirty and like worn out, I would probably use this to depot something else in, but for right now, it's okay where it's at. With that, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. God bless, and bye guys.